is when I hijack his consciousness to say, actually, we're immovable and he's movable, push me, and then now push hard, see? Then he's like, okay, I guess I'm pushing really hard on immovable objects, so I must be doing a push-up. He just did a push-up off of my arm. We are primates, humans are primates. Our ability to be connected to other physical things and sense the connection through them. So if we are monkeys, we have to swing from branch to branch. When I touch a branch, I have to feel, is this branch solid? Is this a strong branch I could really swing and go far? Or is it a fragile branch I better let go and grab another branch? I feel his fascia, and what do I act upon? His fascia. I send the force to his fascia. To be a little bit more specific, I'm learning to be aware of the fascia connection through the ground. So in Neijin Mastery, we're learning to be aware of the chi outside of us. So your awareness is expanding beyond your body now. You're going beyond your body, and our action, the yang aspect of our intention is acting upon the energy around us. So that is what happens in E. You're learning to be aware of what the consciousness wants to manifest, and you're influencing that manifestation. So, and that's really cool, because now you are learning to interact with your consciousness and other people's consciousness directly. It's like a very deep level of meditative awareness. All right, so congrats on beginning to learn your E mastery. So now you experience at least a little bit of each of the 5 stages. What is that like in general? What do you want to say about that?
It just feels good to have a foundation.
A foundation?
And it's starting to click.
It's starting to click. And so what I want to do in this video is to make it really click together, how these 5 Lego pieces really fit together. And so now that we're in E, and we talked about that E, your intention, has 2 components, the yin and the yang. The yin is the awareness, and the yang is the action, the action that you're intending. And so if you look back at everything you've done, all 5 stages has a particular aspect you're aware of and a particular thing you're acting on in a certain way. A yin and yang to every level. So in the very beginning, we did Fascia Mastery. Fascia Mastery, give me your hand. So what are we being aware of in Fascia Mastery? Don't think too hard, it's a very easy question.
Yeah, the fascia.
The fascia, yeah. So if you're resisting me, rather than in our old clumsy ways of being aware of how strong he is, how mean he is, we've moved beyond that to be aware of his fascia. He could be strong and mean, but I feel his fascia, and what do I act upon? His fascia. I send the force to his fascia. To be a little bit more specific, I'm learning to be aware of the fascia connection through the ground. This is very easy. It's the very first stage. And you know why it's easy?
Because it's palpable.
It's palpable. And it makes use of we are primates, humans are primates, our ability to be connected to other physical things and sense the connection through them. So if we are monkeys, we have to swing from branch to branch. When I touch a branch, I have to feel, is this branch solid? Is this a strong branch I could really swing and go far? Or is it a fragile branch I better let go and grab another branch, right? So wired into primates is the ability to feel the connection of something. Does this branch connect to a tree that connects to the ground in a way that I could really go and swing? Or can I just swing a little, or I better not swing at all? Does that make sense? And then we as humans, we learn to make tools. So is this a good hammer I could really swing, right? Is this a good saw? Can I feel, is a sawtooth really biting into the wood that I'm sawing, right? So we are built for this. Built to feel the connection of force through something else. And we're applying that instead of through the bone to the fascia. So it's very doable. And you've seen some people come, they learn to do fascia control in like minutes, right? You just have to know what you're aware of, what is a yin and what is a yang. And so yang means we're acting upon this fascia. This is the branch we're swinging on, this branch, not that branch. Make sense? And so that's Fascia Mastery, and it's yin and yang for E. Then our second stage is our song mastery. What are we being aware of? What is the yin of our E in song?
It's a mouse cursor at the end.
Oh, in song.
Oh, in song. Okay, relaxation.
Yeah, relaxation. You learn to be aware of the release of tension in our body, that whether you have that proper song. And what is the yang aspect? What are we doing in song?
It's almost like a relaxation, but then bring up that energy.
Yes, relaxation, the bring energy is the consequence of that. So the yang of the song is how you, from where to where you release that tension to, release your mass and tension. So initially you release it downwards, the mass downwards. And when it goes down, and when your song established, then it rises up. And then when you punch me or push me or pull me and kick me and stuff like that, then you are releasing that from the starting point of song to the destination of your song. Does that make sense? That you let your arm release outwards, let your weight release forward, and all of that. So you're learning to release from point A to B. That is the yang. And the yin is the awareness of that tension and that mass being released. And along with that, it starts to open the door to you being aware of that rising energy, something that's a little bit more than just tension itself. You start to feel something like that, right? So that's how it's sort of opening the door to the third stage of Chi Mastery. Make sense? So we go to Chi Mastery, the energy within our body that toggles to yin and yang, to sink and float. What are we aware of there?
Different dantians.
Different dantians. The different dantian is what makes this work. But what you're aware of basically is that feeling of yin, of sinking, and the feeling of floating of yang. So you're becoming aware of the quality of your chi, the quality of your energy along your fascia, floating, sinking. And so this opens the door, opens the path to being aware of a quality. By quality, which is what information is your chi carrying? Because chi is how your consciousness and your physical self interface and interacts. It's data. What is in the data? You learn to read the data and to affect that data. So when you affect that data to say it is floating, it is yang, it is sinking, it is yin, then that is when you're doing the active part of the intention of your yi. Does that make sense? And so now, now you're aware of how the consciousness in the physical body experiences the bodily chi. So that opens the gate to really moving your awareness through your body, to your dantian, to your fascia. And then so we move on to the fourth stage of Neijin Mastery. What is yin and yang of our awareness there and our action of our awareness, of our attention?
Is it the mouse cursor?
You're so excited about Yin Mastery today. You're just trying to think about the mouse cursor. We're going to get there. So Neijin Mastery, we're learning to be aware of the chi outside of us. So your awareness is expanding beyond your body now. You're going beyond your body. And our action, the yang aspect of our intention is acting upon the energy around us to give us certain qualities, but in particular, certain directions, right? Peng is upwards, An is downwards, splitting has a rotation, and so forth like that. You're learning to be aware of the energy beyond us and giving it a certain directionality in its quality. And this one is special because as you expand your awareness beyond your body, then it gets you out of the limitations and the suffering, the hardship, the blockages of your body. You learn to sink your root beyond your body into the ground, to be anchored in a deep and stable way, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's pretty good, right? And so Neijin Mastery got us this far. And you are now working with something really subtle, something that's invisible, something that's outside of us, which prepares you for the fifth stage of Yi Mastery. And so here's the moment. What are we aware of Yi Mastery?
The Dian.
The Dian, the mouse cursor, that is a target of our intention. So for our consciousness to make anything happen in the physical reality, to make our body do something, it's like, what are you going to do? I'm going to pick up a glass of water. Which glass? That glass. The Dian, the intention, target, the mouse cursor is on that glass of water. Then what do? You drink it. So the Dian goes here. Splash in Mo's face, the Dian goes there, and so forth. There's a target to our intention. You want to put it a little more sophisticatedly, from consciousness to manifesting into a physical result, a physical state. There is an intention that becomes a physical reality. And so that process has a Dian, has a target. And your yin is to be aware of that target. And the yang is to
enact that force.
to move that mouse cursor, to move the target. So if Mo's pushing me over, right? Yeah, I'll make a fist, you push it. He's pushing me over. So push. So he's pushing force and he's thinking like he's gonna send that force through my back and make me topple over, right? In that case. And so as he's doing that, a bunch of things has to happen for that to manifest properly. He has to make contact with my hand, push through my arm, find a leverage point to my back, and then make me fall over. So he pushes, I perceive all of that, and I perceive that there's an intermediate point where he's pushing through my arm. I take that mouse cursor. If I move that mouse cursor to my feet, now he's not pushing me over my back anymore. I'm comfortable. I move that back through his body, and he moves back. Why does he move back? Because when the mouse cursor goes into his body, instead of pushing me now, he's pushing his body. He's nodding his head, but you might be thinking, that's silly. When do you push your own body? Actually, we've all done it. When you do push-ups, are you pushing your own body? Yeah. You're not pushing the ground. You're not trying to move the earth. Who here moves the earth when they do push-ups? Superman here. No, you know you're pushing your body. Yeah, it's relative. Like, who's being moved? So he pushes into me. Right now he says he's the immovable object and I'm the movable. He applies more force and he wants me to go over, right? When I hijack his consciousness to say, actually, we're immovable and he's movable, push me, and then now push hard, see? Then he's like, okay, I guess I'm pushing really hard on an immovable object, so I must be doing a push-up. He just did a push-up off of my arm. So that is what happens in E. You're learning to be aware of what the consciousness wants to manifest, and you're influencing that manifestation. So, and that's really cool because now you are learning to interact with your consciousness and other people's consciousness directly. It's like a very deep level of meditative awareness. You know, when you say meditate until all the thoughts go away and you realize the truth about what you are, the truth about your mind, the truth about your consciousness, all that stuff. People say these things, and these are very wonderful aspirational goals. But when you practice Tai Chi in these stages, it's more than an aspiration. You're going to experience it. It's not just a abstraction. You actually experience that physically, going from consciousness to intention and to physical reality. Yours and theirs. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's like moving from the physical into stuff of the mind.
Yeah.
And using thought forms and understanding the spiral patterns. But it goes into an intermediate phase where you have the extracorporeal chi and then the corporeal chi.
Yeah.
So it's like that middle
journey
gap into mind.
Into just consciousness. Because before you have body, you have a life force that become a body. Before you have life force, you just have a soul, a consciousness. And so we're going all the way upstream, back to the beginning of all things, or at least for us anyways, and experiencing that directly to really know ourselves, know what we are and how we manifest into our physical experience. So, you know, in meditation, first you have to get comfortable sitting, so your back's not tired, your hips are relaxed. You go physical, then you become aware of your breathing, you become aware of your energy, you become aware of your thoughts, let go of your thoughts, reach emptiness. It's like that, but we're doing it in an active way with some feedback. Feedback's so helpful to getting progress. So we get feedback from our partner, and it's more fun. You get to experience the truth of your consciousness, the truth of what you are and how you are, and as you play Tai Chi. Is that cool?
Yeah, very cool.
Anything you want to say? You don't have to.
It just, you know, your students that come through here, they travel great distances and they've had sometimes 20 plus years of experience. And it's quite awesome, you know, to feel the different experiences. It's like a living tapestry of sum total of their experience and their martial history.
Yeah, and that's the way we're the total sum of all the students' experience, because your questions, your prior learnings, and all those things help me grow. Your hardships help me grow, because as I think about how to help you with that, or you pointing out what I'm teaching that's confusing or difficult helps me grow. So I grow with you guys' help. I stand on the shoulders of my teachers, and this is the summation of everybody's experience that we bring together. And it's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool you bring that up. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's very humbling. So.
All right, thank you for helping me share this. All right, thank you for watching. Enjoy your Tai Chi.